Hey guys, football fan here, just doing my reaction to the 2022 CONCACAF World Cup qualifying for Qatar. Round one basically just ended. I will say before I start the video, I think it was an absolutely amazing idea or scheduling to the FIFA schedulers or CONCACAF schedulers for how they finished it. As on the final match day, we had five of the six groups in round one that basically still had to go down to the final day. The only group that was decided already at that point was Group F, that we knew who was proceeding through. Other than that, we had at least two teams in each group. I believe maybe we had, I think with Group A for sure, we definitely had three teams that could have still qualified for round two. So that was amazing. They made it really suspenseful. So nobody knew who was advancing or who they were going to be basically playing in round two. So that was awesome. Um, I guess, yeah, let's get into it. In Group A, we had El Salvador top the group with 10 points. Montserrat finished second with 8 points. Antigua and Barbuda finished with 7 points. Grenada finished with 3 points. And the U.S. Virgin Islands finish in fifth with 0 points. El Salvador was the favorite to go through. I also had them pegged to go through. I didn't really see too much to this group, though Montserrat surprised me. I know they basically gave El Salvador in the CONCACAF Nations League qualifying. They kind of gave them a good showing. Plus, in the Nations League, sorry, I shouldn't say the qualifying. I mean, in Nations League B, they gave them, I think they drew with them once, and then actually El Salvador had to win in extra time to beat them. So Montserrat seems to always be a challenge, and actually in this group, they ended up drawing each other yet again, 1-1. So Montserrat seems to kind of have El Salvador's number. They're always going to play them tough. But in the final match day, we had basically El Salvador sitting on 8 points with, or sorry, 7 points, I should say, with Antigua and Barbuda, and Montserrat was sitting on five. So basically, Montserrat did have a chance, very slim, but they needed to win by at least 5 goals and hope that El Salvador and Antigua and Barbuda would have a draw. Unfortunately for Montserrat, El Salvador was able to get the 3-0 win. So with that, El Salvador was able to progress through. Grenada didn't really do much, kind of hoping they were hoping to start growing on kind of what they've been building, but with this group they really didn't. And then for the U.S. Virgin Islands, really not much for them. They're not really a CONCACAF, I guess. They're one of the lower minnows. They're very bottom of the CONCACAF region. Yeah, so El Salvador's proceeding through to play the winner of Group F. Now to Group B. We had Canada top the group with 12 points. Suriname finishing second with 9 points. Bermuda finishing in third with 4 points. Aruba in fourth with 3 points. And the Cayman Islands finishing in fifth with a point. The big game came here, probably the biggest game I think everybody was saying of round one came between Suriname and Canada. A game that when the draw happened, nobody really would kind of bat an eye at. But then all of a sudden, Suriname went out, and due to believe it was the FIFA rule change with how they kind of do dual nationals, Suriname ended up recruiting a whole bunch of players from the, I guess, Dutch youth system that are players that used to play in the Dutch youth system together. Big names like Ryan Donk with Galatasaray, as well as Haps with Feyenoord. That they had amazing back line. I know a lot of people were saying that they thought they have actually one of the better back lines in all of CONCACAF. So it was going to be kind of amazing to see how the attack of Canada, when you have Kyle Larin from Besiktas, Jonathan David from Lille, who ended up winning the French championship, and of course Alphonso Davies playing on the left wing with the Giants, or he's a left back with Bayern Munich, but for Canada he plays as a left winger. Or at least a left wing back, with two big champions, how they were going to clash head to head. Started off the game very close. Only Canada ended up getting a goal from, of course, Alfonso Davies of all people here. Everybody would have expected that. And then Jonathan David with the big hat trick in the second half for Canada win 4-0. The game was very hyped up. I know a lot of the Surinamese people thought it was going to be very close. Me, myself, I didn't expect a 4-0 win. I knew Canada was going to win it. I just expected it to be maybe, I don't know, 3-1. But yeah, the 4-0 really kind of showed the class that Canada has. Yeah, Suriname, they did, even though they recruited players, they were an older squad, and I just don't think they were able to keep up with the youth that Canada had, and then the talent, of course. Bermuda, definitely after their strong showing in the 2019 Gold Cup, due to COVID, they weren't able to get a lot of their players. It was really affected them. They kind of will feel bad about how they did, and I think now they're going to probably be prioritizing the Gold Cup over everything. Aruba in fourth didn't really, I guess, show. The only team they really beat was the Cayman Islands, which was to be expected. Um, and yeah, they're just not there. And just like the Cayman Islands, who ended up actually getting a draw against Bermuda on the final match day, but Bermuda with a very, I guess, more local players. They didn't really have any of their big guys there, like Naki Wells and all that. So yeah, but still good. They got a draw. That'll definitely help them, and they can build on that for future. Now let's go to Group C, where we had Curacao top the group with 10 points, tied on points with Guatemala as well, which basically that came down to the last day as well. The only reason Guatemala, or I should say Curacao, got through was the fact that since they had 15 goals for and Guatemala only had 14, that was enough to proceed them through. In third place, you had Cuba with 6 points. Fourth, St. Vincent and Grenadines with 3 points, and then the British Virgin Islands finishing in fifth with 0 points. Big game came down to the final game. Curacao at home to Guatemala, where they ended up having a 0-0 draw, which was huge for Curacao. They just needed the draw to get through, as they had I believe they had to go to the second tiebreaker, like I was saying earlier. Since they were tied on points, they were also tied on differential. So Curacao, having the one extra goals for, had the tiebreak. Feel bad for Guatemala. They definitely played, in my opinion, better than what I expected. I kind of thought they were going to get second. I didn't think they were going to challenge Curacao like to the degree they did. So that's got to be good, especially for them. Now Curacao uh, going through to play the winner of Group D, which will be very interesting to see. But yeah, Curaçao's through. They just are one of those up and coming CONCACAF nations that are just impressing. I know at the Gold Cup in 2019, they had a real good game. I think it was with the United States, 1-0, where they basically took the United States right to it. I know Bakuna is an amazing midfielder. So yeah, they'll be looking to keep growing and trying to get into that third round after they take on the winner of Group D in a two-legged tie. Now we go to Group D, where we had the 2018 World Cup debutants Panama take the group with 12 points, finishing in first. Second place was the Dominican Republic with 7 points. Third place, Barbados with 5 points. Fourth place was Dominica with 4 points, and Anguilla, finished in fifth with 0 points. Once again, came down to the final day between Panama and the Dominican Republic, were the only two teams in it. The Dominican Republic sitting on 7 points after they had one draw and a loss, and Panama sitting on 9 points. The only way the Dominican Republic would be able to make it through was with a win over Panama. Panama is again maybe not quite to where they were in 2018 when they made their debut. They kind of had or are starting to be a little bit more of an older team still, though a lot of class in their lineup. Dominican Republic, just one of those nations that are just now growing and looking like they're kind of on the rise. So that was good to see. But in the final match, Panama was able to defeat the Dominican Republic 3-0 to secure their spot, where they will now take on Curacao in the next round. That will be an interesting tie. That'll be one of, I think, a very juicy tie to see who makes it through. But yeah, Dominican Republic did have a chance, which I think is where they kind of wanted to be to give themselves a shot in the last day. But yeah, Panama, I think, just was too strong for that group and got themselves through. Now we go to Group E, where we have actually only 4 teams in this group, as St. Lucia backed out or withdrew from World Cup qualifying for some unknown reasons. Kind of a lot of different things coming out from that story. This group had a whole bunch of drama in it, where on match day 1, when Belize went to Haiti, the Belize national team was actually held at gunpoint on their bus by some locals. There was a big stir about that with FIFA, whether Haiti should be able to host any games, but going forward they were allowed. So in this group there was only 4 teams. Haiti ended up winning the group with 9 points, going a perfect 3-0. Nicaragua finishing in second with 6 points. Belize finishing in third with 3 points, and the Turks and Caicos Islands finishing in fourth with 0 points. The big game again for this one came down to Haiti and Nicaragua on the final day, as Nicaragua needed the win to proceed through. A draw would not have helped them. Haiti ended up winning with a score of 1-0, which will set up a juicy contest against Group B winners Canada, as that will be a rematch of the 2019 Gold Cup quarterfinal between Haiti and Canada, where if I believe Canada was winning 2-0 after the first half, and one player from Canada, Marcus Godinho, ended up having a bad pass back to Milan Borjan, the goaltender, where Haiti was able to take advantage of to score to make it 2-1. And then Marcus Godinho again took down a player in the box with a very rash tackle, giving Haiti a chance to tie it up, which they did on the PK. And then Nazan was able to, I believe it was Nazan that was able to get the winner 3-2. And then there was a big questionable call where Atiba Hutchinson, who looked like he was onside, ended up putting a ball in to tie the game, and the linesman called it offside. They didn't have VAR to overrule it, so it ended up going there. So Haiti was able to make it through, which then when they went to Mexico, they had to go, if I'm not mistaken, again to extra time for Mexico to win. So Haiti is one of those teams that, especially just in the last couple of years, has definitely taken some huge leaps. So that'll be one amazing contest to see. It is a two-legged tie, so it'll make things interesting compared to a one-off to see how they'll do. But yeah, Haiti is through. Nicaragua looked pretty good. I didn't think that they had the skill to take on Haiti, but nevertheless, they are through. So there we go. Now, with the final group, Group F, this was the only group that was decided before the final match day, as St. Kitts and Nevis already secured it when they had 9 points due to Trinidad and Tobago drawing with the Bahamas on the final day. So with this group, St. Kitts finishing in first on 9 points, Trinidad and Tobago finishing in second with 8 points, Puerto Rico in third with 7 points, Guyana in fourth with 3 points, and the Bahamas finishing in fifth with 1 point. Um, Big, I'd say, shock for me. I had Trinidad and Tobago going through, even though I did say St. Kitts had a chance just because of what I thought after match day 2, how kind of or match day 1 and 2, how Trinidad was looking. So they'll be happy to go through. I think they've already surpassed expectations. Trinidad and Tobago, what can I say? They shot themselves in the foot with that 0-0 draw against the bottom seeded team in this pool, Bahamas. Even though they did come back and beat St. Kitts and Nevis 2-0 on the final match day, it wasn't enough. And that nation, ever since, recent memory I can remember, has just seemed to starting to go regress a lot. Sad to say. Puerto Rico, they really, I think, in my opinion, took some massive strides in this qualifier. I thought with Guyana, especially with Guyana being in the 2019 Gold Cup and kind of impressing there, that Guyana was going to be the third seed team here, potentially challenging St. Kitts for second seed. But Puerto Rico totally surpassed. They were another team that drew Trinidad and Tobago 1-1. So yeah, big storyline out of this one's the fact that Trinidad and Tobago weren't able to proceed out of this group. So St. Kitts and Nevis will be taking on El Salvador in the final I guess, clash of round two to see who makes the octagonal. Okay, and now for my final round two predictions here. I'm not going to go into detail of how I think each leg is going to go down. I'll do that in a separate video. Right now, I'm just going to give my early predictions for who I think is going to win the matches. I'll try to get another video out later in this week to go about and kind of go into each game and kind of see how I think it's going to go. Right now, I'm just going to give my early bird predictions. So the first tie, we have St. Kitts and Nevis versus El Salvador. Just right now, I think El Salvador is going to be the favorite in this one. That's going to be the team I'm going to predict to go through. Second leg tie is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a grudge match from the 2019 Gold Cup where Haiti ended up defeating Canada. Now that this is a two-legged tie, I think the quality Canada has with Davies, David, Laren, Stacchio in their lineup, I think will just be too much for Haiti over two-legged ties. So I think Canada will be the team that progresses out of that. And then in the third matchup between Panama and Curacao, I'm gonna take a little bit different one here. I'm gonna actually put Curacao to go through in this one. I could be 100% wrong on that one. I think Panama has a lot of quality, but I just think Curacao, they're an up and coming nation. CONCACAF, they've been doing very well as of late, especially in the 2019 Gold Cup. And I think with Panama's aging squad, I just think Curacao is going to be that team that's going to push through. So that's my early bird predictions. Thank you, everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you want more content. Please leave comments below on what you guys think. Let me know if you think I'm wrong with my early bird predictions. Please let me know your guys' scores and who you think will go through. And hope to show you guys more content soon.